blah blah blah. Do all this like this is some cool stuff. So how long you been doing music, man?
Man, 7, 8 years old. Man, bro, it's been a long time. I mean, I was signed to Universal in '99.
Okay.
Lost my deal after high school. Went to college.
What's going everybody? It's Webster Style, the man, the voice, the fragrance. Here with, if you've seen my coverage from Exotica, you know exactly who I'm talking to. But if you don't, I'm introducing you to the one, the only, Alphonso Layz. Alfonso, how you doing today, sir?
I'm all right. I'm all right. How are you? You blessed?
Yes, always. Oh, look, I'm breathing, so right there, I'm blessed.
Yeah, that's the best part about it. You know what I'm saying? Being here.
Yep, exactly. Now, I wanted to ask, like you are a man of many talents, many different endeavors, so it just starts in one place. But I guess I'll start how I met you and ask you, how did you get into the adult industry?
Pinky.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. She saw me at a fashion show. We had a conversation after, a couple of walks, and we just built it from there. I shot my first scene with someone she hooked me up with, and then from there, her staying in contact and keeping mentorship over me to make sure that I'm doing it, the right way, the business way, instead of just out here wilding about.
Right. Okay, that's interesting, and especially considering how she has transitioned, really built her brand and her website over the years. Okay, I can definitely understand that and see that
Yeah,
as well. That actually going to bring me back to another point as well. So you've been in what for about a decade now? Is that right?
yeah, almost a decade.
Okay. I know we talked a little bit about this at Exotica, but what do you really attribute your longevity to?
Standards, dedication, and the successes over time, not just like right now. The successes over time have built it, not only the successes but the reputation of professionalism, because that's not a lot of that. You're going to catch a lot of the other stuff, but professionalism definitely.
Right. I that is something that I've heard a lot recently. Many really speak to being a professional, and from the layman, especially looking at the industry, you're like, oh, professionalism, but it really makes sense regardless of what you're doing, to being professional, being on time, really, sticking to what you have to do. Obviously, you performing is a bit different than many other of us performing our jobs, but that standard is still there. So I'm glad you really spoke to that point, because I don't think that's something that a lot of people think about when they think of the industry in general.
No, it's a party. I mean, what we show online and what people perceive are two different things. I mean, it's a party.
Right.
That they think it's a party. Everything, you get alcohol in your system or drugs or whatever, and then hey, it just the magic happens.
Right.
It's not like that. It's not like that.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out, because I think a lot of, like, we're men of a certain age, so we've been around for a while. We've seen a lot of things, and especially for someone like myself, I grew up in the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s, and there are so many stories of particularly porn starlets who crash and burn. They get into the lifestyle one, and I think that is something that a lot of people still, even to this day, have a connotation of the industry. Is like you said, it's all about partying, drinking, drugs, and then the more and more I have these conversations, the more and more it's showing that, like, that's not what, at least those of you that have success, are about.
No, no, no. Um, the big part about that is if you on time, you late.
Right.
I mean, 15 minutes, you're on time. 5 minutes, you're getting close to being on time.
Right.
Like you have to have some type of, you have to set yourself apart from the rigmarole. You
Right.
have to set yourself apart from the rigmarole, because if you do not set yourself apart, you become part of the rigmarole.
Right.
And you don't want to be part of the rigmarole. You don't ever want to be part of it, because it'll put you in a bad place.
Right.
You'll be stuck. You'll be stuck being like the rigmarole, and you
Right.
don't want that, because those are the people that are here today, gone tomorrow.
Exactly. Exactly, and I'm glad you really brought that point up because that's, something, again, I really like for people who are listening to really understand, something like that, that discipline really goes into what you do in everyday life, but especially in an industry like this that takes so much of a toll on you mentally and physically.
Man, it's tedious, man. I would tell anybody who thinks that this is a walk in the park, they need to get in the gym
Right,
right now, not yesterday. They need to get in the gym right now.
right. Right. Yeah. And I'm glad you brought that up too. What sort of one of the things I've seen and I really admire, and I was actually talking with this about with a friend of mine the other day, just the level of awareness. And again, particularly because of what you do for a living, but a level of awareness of your body that many of the performers I've interviewed have, but also the dedication to physical fitness and keeping your body in shape as well. What is your workout routine like?
It's strenuous. It's it's a lot of leg lifts, a lot of cardio, a lot of squats. I mean, you because it's all core.
Right,
Everything has to be from here. And I mean, like you gotta do your arms, you gotta do your legs, but it's really cardio, planking, stretching a lot because you don't ever want to be in a position where you're working and you catch that Charlie.
right,
You catch that Charlie horse, you're gonna lose.
right, right.
Scene shut down. You know how it is when you're
Ye
on the court, you hooping, you catch
yes,
that one, you like, pull me up the court, pull me off, pull me off. So it gets to that point. You have to just physically and mentally be prepared because all of it may be physical, but
mhm,
the mental is where you make your biggest mistake.
right,
When you go into a shooting extra eager, it's over before you even got there.
right,
It's done. You're 5 minutes in and it's already over because you were too eager.
right.
You have to mentally prepare yourself. You have to physically prepare yourself. Do breathing exercises. Get your breathing right. You know, you got to do all of these things because just because that we make it look good, don't mean that it's not a lot of work to do this.
Right, right. Now, you brought up that, and this is something I've always like, we all understand what it's like in real life when we're in those sort of intimate scenes, but being on a set is totally different. And really being a male talent, a lot of the burden of a scene is on you. How do you deal with that?
Preparation, um, knowing your timing. So you would have to know what this looks like compared to rushing because a lot of people they get into a setting and they rush.
Right,
They want to run through it, just bang bang. We pay for the time to be here. The cameraman's here.
right,
Let's do it right this time. I don't want to. I don't want no mistakes. I don't want no misshoots. You don't want to misfire. Hear
right,
me when I
right.
say this. You don't want to misfire. So take your time, breathe, get your breathing in order, and just slow pace this thing because it'll be more of a thing for her to not only get the satisfaction she wants during the shoot, but for it to be, good to go. Because you don't want to rush a scene and then you feel like you burning rubber. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? You want to just take your time. You want to make sure she is enjoying this whole set too. Because if you rush her through, yeah, you are not shooting for that company no more. You're
right,
done. When it come to them, because they done spent some money. When
right,
you rush her through, you done already shut yourself out of that. That's over with.
right.
So
Now,
you have to be patient. You have to be patient. You have to look for visual cues too, because if you don't know visual cues. So if me and her are shooting and there's an eye to eye thing, you
right,
have to have visual cues. The visual cue has to be there as well, because if you don't give a visual cue and she's not giving you the all right, we need to switch position cue, you could be there 10 minutes if you're good, but if you ain't good and you sweating away, the clock is ticking, bro. You about to explode.
understood. Understood. Now, one of the things that really gravitated me to you and want to talk to you as far as having your own production company and pouring bread. Um, One of the things I find fascinating about those that do it well are not just the fact that they want to do their own scenes, but that they have an eye for the filmmaking part of it, like the art of filmmaking. And that's one of the things I've really enjoyed about, some stuff you do and other people. Like you can tell that, okay, this is not just about making a scene, this is about making art. How do you go about that process?
Um, I know a lot of the ladies gonna be mad at me, right? Um, you have to be aesthetically sound for me to approach you first. And I have to know that you have, and you're gonna love this word, they gotta have moxie, man. The ladies have to have moxie. I need moxie. I need pizzazz. I need the
Right,
right. I gotta see if you already have it. If you already have it, that makes it 10 times much more easier, because if I have to pull it out of you because we got cameras in our face and you've never acted before, that's the harder parts. So those
right.
are the questions that you ask before you get them into a setting.
Hmm.
So for me, I've always wanted to create my own mini series and my own web series. I've always wanted to do that. So now I pick talent by what I see their qualities are that are great. Because, every beautiful woman has a nice sized breast, or they have augmented breast, or
Right,
every cute girl with a body is either natural or augmented. So you have to figure out what fits per season.
right,
Because maybe one season I got a lot of girls that have augmented features.
right,
That whole season is dedicated to those women with augmented features. Maybe this season, season 13 is probably all the girls that are nice and curvy, fit for that, right?
right.
So visualize the attack before you make the attack. And that's one of the things that I think a lot of people don't visualize. They don't visualize the attack and how
Hmm.
to promote it. They just go, oh yeah, we rolling, baby. Put your cell phone on it. Put it on the tripod. Let's go.
Right.
Nah,
Yeah. Yeah.
nah.
That's one of the things that I think you see the good and bad of this the whole new direct to consumer model. You see somebody who just puts a cell phone on it, and then you see people who, again, have an idea of what they want to do. They have idea of scenes. They have, again, that personality that really conveys from the camera, whether things are actually happening or they're just on camera talking, whatever scene's going on. And I think there are some people that rise to the top, but when I say but there's a lot of people, there's some people that rise to the top of that, and especially now there's some people that kind of like in the middle because they are lost in the, oh, I just need a camera, I just need to do this, I need to do that, and companies like yourself really are up there because you have an understanding of, again, not just the scene, but also the filmmaking part, and much like you said, that charisma, that moxie, those things that draw a viewer in, because it's not, this is one of the things that I, especially as I've gotten older, it's not just about what's happening, it's about the talent as well, and how the talent and the charisma draw you in, because there's so many things or so many times, like, I don't even care about the other part. Like, I want to see who this person is, I want to see how they interact, I want to see the dialogue. It's not even about the actual, once things happen. And those individuals are the one that really gravitate people in, and much like we talked about Exotica, you build a fan base, not supporters, you build fans. Because those are people's like, oh, I want to see more of this person. I like the way they do this. Oh, let me, contribute this way, contribute that way.
So my thing is, and I've said it before, fans and likes are fine.
Right,
I want subscribers.
right,
Subscribe. That's my big thing is subscribers. I do not care for, oh man, I'm following. That's fine. I'm glad you're following. When
right,
will you subscribe?
right,
You can watch all day until you actually support. That's the big thing for companies that are independent, because they'll jump down Brazzers, Reality Kings, and everybody else's throat to go watch their
right,
stuff. They'll pay that $1.99 for a 2-day subscription. But mine is $5 for a 3-day subscription, and you'll rather jump over there than support this independent.
right,
So I don't have anything against the big boys. It's just that I get the bigger platforms have a wider range of uh augmented cars.
right.
I get that they have a wider range of augmented vehicles. I get it. Everything's custom over there, damn near. You know, I'm going to the car shop for this one. But this lot that I have still has very valuable material, very valuable, you know, it's pretty dope over there. You
Right.
just have to be willing to go over there to see. Cause I mean, like Cadillac makes all types of cars. That was the 90s. We don't even push caddies like that no more.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
I get it.
It's about branding and it's about knowing what the brand really stands for. And a lot of people have gotten lost in the sauce when it comes to a brand because they're so busy looking for the next big thing
Mhm.
when it's literally standing right here. You're just not paying attention.
Got you. Understood. I want to pivot for a bit back to the beginning. You talked about Pinky finding you modeling. So I've seen that you do runway model. How long have you been modeling?
Oh man, I've been runway modeling for man forever. It's been like 13 years.
Okay. What?
13, 14. It's been a long time. I mean, I've done New York Summer Fashion Explosion, New York Fashion Week, Los Angeles Fashion Week, Vegas Fashion Week, Miami Fashion Week. I've been all over the country, not just modeling, but with the music too, because a lot of times when I'm doing the fashion shows, they let me perform at the fashion shows.
Got you. That's great exposure as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, man, you gotta have a double-edged sword
Yeah.
nowadays. You gotta be willing to, you know, jump on both sides of the fence. And I mean, when the talent is there, yes. If the talent's not there, no.
Right.
Because we got enough bad music in this world right now. We got dudes rapping way off beat that it just don't make no sense.
Oh yeah, that's the truth. Since you brought up the music, how long have you been doing music? You know, we met, and then I'm researching, like, wait a minute, he does music? Like, wait a minute, and I'm listening, like, okay, I like this, and I'm like, all right, let me use some of this stuff in my reels, blah blah blah, do all this, like, this is some cool stuff. So, how long you been doing music, man?
Man, 7, 8 years old. Bro, it's been a long time. I mean, I was signed to Universal in 99,
Okay,
lost my deal after high school, um, went to college, went to the military, started living life, doing fun stuff in life, and then got signed to Sony the Orchard in 2015. The deal was crap, shelved that deal, got out of the deal, and now I got $1 million deal on the table that I will not sign. You're not gonna advance me 200,000. Then when I make that back, advance me another 400,000. And then when I make that back, advance me another 200,000. Because then they're gonna say, "Oh, you made your million." No, it
right.
don't work
Don't
like
work that
those are
way. Right,
advancements, bro. Those are loans. I don't want no loan. You're gonna
right,
pay me cash.
right. Now, I hope it's not a 360.
Oh no, no, no. I wouldn't dare. Hold 1 second. I wouldn't dare.
Right,
A 360, oh my lord, I've already seen what those look like. I was around before they even started.
right,
And when they did start them, I said, yeah, that ain't no benefit. Who's crazy enough to sign that? You gotta be a lunatic to understand that the 360 is pretty much robbing you of all your livelihood. It's literally telling you it's either make money or we take all of your money. That's
right,
what it's saying. You either make money or we're gonna take all of your money. And we're gonna put it back towards this because the money that we gave you, you didn't make good on.
right,
Yeah, I'm not willing to do that.
right. Now, who are some of your inspirations as far as music is concerned?
Oh, that's good. I say my uncle. My uncle was cold, man. When I was young, my uncle was cold, man. He actually taught me how to write. He taught me how to write. He taught me how to find the beat. He taught me how to find the pocket in the beat.
Mhm.
Like this dude taught me everything about rapping I know. Like ever since I was like 7, 8, he taught me all of this stuff young and through middle school and through high school. All I did was writing, you know, listening to everybody else's instrumentals, trying to find the patterns that fit in the
Right,
pocket of the beat. Like all of this stuff came from family. He's my biggest inspiration. Him and my mom, because my mom used to sing. She had the voice of a songbird, but she never went. You know, I mean, this is Tina Turner time.
right,
You know how hard it was to find one of
yeah,
those. So you know, my mom and my uncle, and then my uncle put me onto a lot of musicians like Kumo D and LL Cool J and KRS One, Stetsasonic. UTFO, like
Right.
that whole era, that whole early 80s era. I couldn't pinpoint one thing that music hasn't done for me.
Hmm. Yeah, I totally understand you on that one. Well, I played for a long time I played from elementary school through college, and I sang in choirs, but I understand the aspect as far as like not being able to pinpoint one sort of individual because it's all so inspiring. So I totally understand, especially for a musician like yourself, and then listening to you, I just hear the incorporation of a lot of different influences as well, which is what made me ask that question. Because I can tell just by listening to your music that you are influenced by a lot of artists and a lot of those who came before you.
Yeah, I mean, like I could go hard. I mean, like you've heard probably all 5 albums. I can go crazy. I can go light. I can make a love song. I can write a cool melody. You know what I'm saying? I can write
Hmm.
something that you can put in your car and you like down in Texas with swangers on your car.
Right.
There's not one genre that I can say, oh yeah, that's where my style is from. No.
Right.
Because I wasn't trained to have that type of isolation ear. You
Right.
can't isolate no one sound because I had a jazz song when I was in high school. Literally, the beat was to some jazz, like Diggable Planet type stuff.
Hmm.
So I can't just say, yeah, that's the sound. No, that's not, because it's too much of it. I
Right.
mean, I got songs where my mom has got like Johnny Guitar Watson and Gladys, and I could name all of this stuff, and the younger generation to go, vinyl, what's that? See, because
Right.
you have no vibe, bro. Your vibe has no movement, like
Right.
really. So just all of this big gumbo pot of different styles and listening to Jimmy and so many different things, man. Just it's crazy. And that's why, like I said, there's so much. Like I can make a song like Strangers and it be hot. I can make a song like I Love Your Smile because I know LL's Cool J's method. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Or I can make a song like One in a Million. I was rapping like Lil Wayne and them back in high school. That's, you know what I'm saying? That was the Drummer Boys with me and my homeboy Marlon. We had
Right.
our own crew called the Drummer Boys. So nothing can't be done. That's why, my rap name was TOEE at one time,
Mhm.
but the record label got that.
Mm, understood.
Yeah, so the only entertaining equivalent is what it's called because I can match anything within the realm of that type of entertainment.
Mhm.
Yeah, but they got that. So
Okay, understood. Now, I want to flip back to the Dell industry because I just thought of a question that I find very fascinating about the fact that you've been in about a decade or so. Uh, were there any female performers that say before you got into the industry that you got a chance to work with that maybe you were a fan of beforehand?
Misty Stone.
Okay,
Yeah.
she's a good
Yep.
people.
Yeah. Misty Stone. What is that girl's name? Kelly Starr.
Okay,
Not
remember
that
her.
Kelly Starr. Is it? Vanessa Kelly. Yeah, Vanessa
Okay,
Kelly.
remember her too. Yeah.
Um, that's pretty much it. Like when I was coming in, you had Milani Dior, you had Stephanie Kim, you had a couple.
Right.
Um, but Misty was the big ticket for me.
Right.
Misty was the big ticket. Yeah.
Right. Now, let me ask you this question. This is something else. So I've had this conversation in general, and I don't know if it's maybe the past couple years I see some shifting, but I've always said the one thing I didn't like about the industry, particularly when it came to how we were represented, is I always say that it's the uh mandingoization of the black man, like everybody's big and dark skinned and humongously packing. Did you have any issues sort of combating stereotypes of what maybe the industry wanted a black man to be when breaking in?
Yeah. I had a lot of problems. Even now, I still have a lot of issues. I'm not on the darker side of things, if
Right.
you get what I'm saying.
Yes, I understand.
And I don't look like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I would never you can't say it's handsome when it's really not. And this industry ain't built on what we do.
Yes.
Okay. We're the B roll, D roll, C roll character to
Hmm.
her. She is always going to be the star.
Right.
Point blank, period.
Right.
So you don't want an aesthetically sound, handsome gentleman shooting with this girl. It takes the look away from her.
Right.
You got to get the ugliest thing you can find, the blackest and the ugliest thing you can find to work with this girl, because it's about her. It ain't about him. We
Right.
don't want the female fans because women don't buy porn like that. It's going to be the guys in the other communities,
Hmm.
you know, the Rainbow Flag Warriors, and the guys who, you know, and the guys who want to look at guys.
Right.
That community spends the most money on our
Hmm.
what we do. And the colonizers that like to see their women with
Right.
what they would call us bulls,
Right.
right? So they spend their money on this stuff. But you talking about sexy women that got some profile to them, they ain't buying this. They trying to find it on X videos for free because they feel like they too good to spend money on a product that's valuable.
Understood. Understood. Yeah, because I wanted to ask
Truth
that
be told.
question. Yeah, I wanted to ask that question of you because I've as a lighter skinned guy, um, I've noticed that, and I've noticed a perpetuation of a stereotype when it comes to black, at least a lot in mainstream porn. And me personally, I always felt not very awkward about it, but I always felt it was a not necessarily a disservice. I just didn't like it. I'll put it that
It's
way.
jading. So
Yeah,
so it's jading. It's
yeah,
jading. It's kind of jaded. You feel jaded and you feel gypped because you can't be all in professional good and look good. Oh
right,
nah, hell no. Nah. That
right,
what? He looked good. He bring the thunder. It's a full performance. No, that
yeah,
doesn't make sense. No, that what? Where that come from? No,
right.
I want him. He's dark as night. So when we do low light shooting, she is the highlight.
Mm,
Think about the name of that. Think about the name of them. They're called what? Because it's low light. He's dark as hell, and they're shooting one light, one pop light with no lights on. So it looks like he is there, but he's not there because he's dark as ever.
makes
It's
sense.
a setup.
Yeah,
It's a setup. They want the blackest knight they can find. Might not even be a good performer, but he fits a stigma stereotype of a bull.
right. I never looked at it that way, but I mean, it makes sense in that regard. So, yeah,
Because you can't put me in low light. You can't put me in low
right,
light. I'm a shine. You know what I'm
right,
saying? I'm a shine in
exactly,
low light. That's when I do my most damage.
exactly. I want to ask you one question I thought about, especially going back to the whole Pinky collaboration. Have you guys ever done any music together? Because I know she was rapping at one point in time. I think I still got a mixtape of hers in the car or something like that.
Yeah. So she was ahead of her time with that,
Hmm.
right? Because they weren't prepared for performers of our stature to
Right,
actually be good.
right,
They wasn't prepared for that. Like she got a track with 50.
right,
Like they weren't prepared for that. The industry was like, nah, oh no, we can't let this happen. Because if we let this happen, we got to open the floodgates for real. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Because it's more than a lot of people are afraid of being a brand. A lot of us perform, a lot of not us, not me, but a lot of performers are afraid to be a brand. They're afraid to step out of their closet and be a brand.
right,
They would rather be owned by an agent, owned by a company, under contract for however many scenes, because they don't want to establish themselves as an independent person that's strong enough to do what we do by themselves without somebody holding their hand.
right.
So
Understood.
yeah, Pinky just I wish I would have got a feature. I should have been got a feature, but that was during the time where the focus wasn't on me doing music with her. It
Right,
was on me establishing myself in this world, so I'll be able to later on start doing other things.
Understood. Understood. Now, time's running a bit short, but I want to ask you what's next for you? What's coming out?
Oh man, we're in season 12 right now.
Okay.
Season 12, episode 2, with Bria Monet just came out. Um, episode 3 is next week. Then the week after that on Monday, episode 4, episode 5. So I run 6 episodes per season. And in between the seasons, I usually drop a movie. Sometimes I don't, because I don't want to overflood you with too much. I don't want to
Right.
overstimulate my fans. I want my fans to appreciate the material. I want them to be able to go back with earlier scenes, and they can go back all the way to season 1 if they need to.
Right.
But I want to give you enough good material. I do not want to put out a quantity of stuff and it not be good.
Right.
I'd rather give you quality once a week than rush out product and flood you with 4, 5 scenes during the week. You're overstimulated at that point. You can't keep up. So I'd rather you keep up, spend your money where you can, and enjoy. Because this is art to me. I'm creating my own type of art that lasts because it's good.
Right.
And the soundtrack has my music in it.
Hey. Like I said, I love the fact that you view it as art and not just a scene. And I really respect that. And there are one thing about doing is I've gotten to talk to a lot of people and even learn a lot myself. And I really respect, individuals like yourself who really look at what you do as an art, and even looking at some other things I've seen just doing research and how, like, I'm a film geek. I always have been. And just seeing how people do things with camera angles, even now a lot more people incorporating special effects and stories, and like I love that. They're looking at it as not just oh, like back in the 90s, oh, this is just, a bunch of scenes on a tape put together or something on the hub or whatnot. It's actually a piece of art and there's thought into it. And I really enjoy when that really is conveyed in the screen or on the screen. So I guess first, tell everybody where they can find your art.
So they can find me at cornbreadinc.com. You can find me on mini vids under Alphonso Layz. Any of the other streaming sites, from AP Clips to Fap House to any of the other places. Just recently rebooted my Fansly, because my Fansly is going to be dedicated to nothing but the mini series.
Okay.
I'm going to restart it from season 1 all the way to season 12.
Okay.
I want to do it that way because I don't want them to be cluttered with all of the other material and not enjoy just the mini series. I'd rather turn my website into where you're going to get everything, and the mini series is the main focus.
Right. And where can they find your music?
You got to go on iTunes, type in ODUBBY on YouTube, because they won't give me my original W channel back. And I made that channel back in like 06. So they trying to verify me. You're gonna find me at ODUBBY 33. We just recently shot the video for Do It Major. Do It Major has a video. White on White has a video.
Right.
Cap has a video. Milwaukee County has a video. We just recently shot On My Own /Squad Up as a video. That was the stuff that was on Instagram. So we're working, man. We're
Right.
Cornbread Incorporated is really, really pushing. The co-owner of Cornbread Incorporated is Unique Leo. You can find her at Unique Leo 78 on Instagram. And she has Unique Promotions on Instagram. And, Cornbread Incorporated on Instagram, and Alphonso Layz is on Instagram. And we manage all of this stuff. And if they are looking for me as far as hiring me for modeling gigs, it's going to be Lewis Harris, the model 2.
Okay, well, you've seen all that flash below. If not, everything will be down below in the comments. Alfonso, I want to thank you for your time, sir. I appreciate it. Hopefully we can do this again. And who knows, I'll probably be seeing you around as I go about my travels, and especially since we're not that far away either. But I thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. Webster Solid, Man of Voice of Fragrance. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your listening ear. Remember, be safe out there.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
Yes.
Y'all gotta go get this, man. Y'all
Oh,
gotta go get this
oh,
leather
real
and
quick, I asked
brandy,
you about
man.
fragrances. So, let's start this real quick before we all. So, I know you've been built real big on Bath and Body Works. Uh, I received coffee and whiskey for Christmas. Nice, real nice. We ain't even talk about fragrances. Oh man, we gotta come back again because we could probably do a whole show on that.
Well, I mean, like, um, yeah, because I got me some Mont Blancs right here. I got me some Suave right here. You know what I'm saying? I got my Polo Red right here. You know, I mean, I was ready for you. I'm always ready.
Right, right. Yeah, look, it's so many things to talk about with you, man. And I know time was limited tonight, but like I said, I definitely gotta get up with you again. Maybe we just do one segment just dedicated to fragrances.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, like this one right here, um, it's not around long, but it's short. But this
Mhm.
Everlasting Magic,
Right. Yeah, I've seen you talk about that one.
man, man. And I mean, like even with the candles, I mean, we can go from fragrances as far as body sprays to candles because I'm a big person on candles because I think candles set the ambiance.
Yes, I agree.
Whew,
Totally agree with you on that one. Yeah, candles are very underrated when it comes to just setting the mood, or even just, you want to spice up your house a little bit differently than usual.
for sure.
All right, Alfonso, again, thank you for your time, man. Appreciate it. You guys check out all his links. Support the
For
man.
sure.
Subscribe.
All right. Have a good one.